Finally I made an intro after 3 years. Hola! Today I'm gonna showcase the mod Saga Dreams again. A few videos ago, actually 8 months ago, I showcased the Dream Guard, a new character that had a whole new gimmick based on unique floor upgrades and several other things. Today, however, I'll be showcasing the items of that mod, because it was something that I promised on the previous part and never did until today. So let's just start the showcase. Every time you clear 6 rooms or you go to a new floor, you get a sedative spill. The sedatives give you a damage boost for more than 20 seconds, it makes it slower for a short time, and applies the Sandmann debuff to all the enemies in the room. If you don't remember, Sandmann is a new debuff from this mod that makes the enemies take more damage and be slower. Now you have a small rattle above your head, and you can shake it if you shoot tears. While it's shaking, it can shoot some projectiles that do splash damage. The higher your tear rate, the faster the rattle will shake, and these projectiles inherit your tear's effect as well. This item gives you a half soul heart, tears up, and a shot speed down. And now you can shoot a tear that can apply confusion and slowness, or one that bounces off the enemies. These tears are luck based as well. This item gives you a melee weapon, a trusty and powerful pillow. This pillow shoots feathers when you hit the enemies. And the more you charge the pillow, the more powerful the melee attack will be, and you shoot more feathers. The feathers themselves do half of your damage. This item makes a new pickle called Moon Petals appear in the Secret and Super Secret room. Each time you pick one of the petals, you fill up a special bar that appears next to you. Once you take 6 of these petals, the bar is gonna be completed. And each petal you take after you complete the bar is gonna give you 0.50 tear rate, 3.0 tears max. But if you take damage, you lose some of the charge roll and the tear rate. Also, to saw those sparks? Those were spores. The spores are another thing that this item does. Basically, they are particles that do damage when you enter a room with enemies, as long as you have at least one charge on the bar. The more charges that the bar has, the more damage the spores are gonna do, even though their damage kinda scales with yours. Now the shops and treasure rooms have a 50% chance of having a new type of slot machine, a binary player. This machine, at the cost of 1 coin, has a chance of changing the music of the room into songs of other rooms. Based on the song that is playing, the pool of the current room is changed to the one where the song originally plays. If you hear the theme of the Angel deal, the reroll items are gonna be from the Angel pool. There is also a few songs that are from other floors, and you get items from pools that are related to their theme. For example, the Song of the Corpse gives you items from the Roll and Beggar pool. This familiar follows you and can block a few projectiles. It can also attack the enemies that get too close, dealing 2.0 damage per tick. If it takes too much damage, it can die and spawn some blue flies. But you can revive him by just poking him. And if you take BFFs, the health of the Guppo is increased to 20 HP. Similar to the previous item, this one is a Plushy familiar. This one is an orbital instead of just following. And when the enemies get too close, it slams the ground, shooting some projectiles and some creep. It can also block tears in a similar way that Sci-Fi does. But again, it can die after blocking too much, but you can revive it by just touching it. And more plushies. This one follows Isaac too, but it doesn't block tears. Instead, what it does is chasing enemies that get too close, and it has two ways of attacking: slamming the ground and shooting tears, or creating a balloon that shoots a lot of tears. And if it takes too much damage, it can die and get revived. Random fun fact, but this one is my favorite. Love this silly fella. When you press the active button, you will hold it and you can throw it to an enemy. If it gets attached to an enemy, it will do damage to it, but your movement it will be attached to. If you press the active button again, you will remove the item from the enemy, causing some clouds to appear. These clouds apply some somnolence. If the damage dealt by the dagger is enough to kill the enemy, it will shoot stars to all directions. This is a familiar that orbits around enemies and shoots some star projectiles. These projectiles do 3.50 damage and have a 20% chance of bringing somnolence. With BFFs it does twice as much damage, but I think that it doesn't do anything else. While you're shooting, you will spawn two small minis that will create an aura of fire. The familiars can shoot projectiles to the enemies and put them in contact. The aura itself has a chance of burning the enemies too. If you stop shooting, they will go back to the candle and all the enemies on the aura will get burned. The more copies of this item that you have, the more mimis that will be spawned. This item gives you 50 coins, and now all your bombs can apply the Midas touch effect to the enemies on its radius. In the case you don't have bombs, now you can use 5 coins to place a bomb. This price bomb is gonna be normal, and it can't have any special bomb effects. This is because of balanced purposes probably. This is a familiar that shoots a projectile that bounces off enemies, dealing 4.0 damage. Yep. This one is more interesting, because it has a lot of different effects. First, it gives you a reward if you destroy tinted rocks. These rewards can be coins, bombs, or the full card. No idea why the full card, but okay. If it takes damage, it has a chance of firing a burst of tears. And if you take damage, it spawns a charm bomb fly. If you complete a floor without taking damage, when you go to the next one, Hornfel is gonna give you a random item. And if you took damage, well, it will make fun of you. Okay, this is my second favorite. Each floor gives you a random blessing. The blessings can be Scorching Sand. When you enter a room, you will leave a trail of sand for 2 seconds, and the enemies also leave this sand trail when they die. This sand can spawn sand spikes that deal a high amount of damage and apply somnolence. Stellarum, I guess. When you enter a room, 3 random enemies will have a star hanging above them. These enemies will occasionally get the somnolence effect. If you kill one of these enemies, the star is gonna fall and cause a small explosion. Sandmann. This one gives you a familiar that shoots stars. The projectiles that it shoots will be improved based on how many rooms are cleared. Here are all the levels and requirements. This familiar is similar to the Cube of Meat or Ball of Bandages, in the sense that it evolves depending on how many copies you get. On the first level, it is just an orbital that floats around Isaac and does contact damage like normal. On the second level though, it gets legs and now it follows you, being able to shoot Saula! The powerful Saula do 4.0 damage and they can break stuff. And when it reaches the third level, it should get a rocket launcher that does 35.0 damage. Because why not, right? And there is not fourth level if you're wondering. This setting gives you a chance of shooting an extra tier that applies to a new debuff called Decay. Decay reduces slowly a small percentage of the enemy's health, and it makes them create a pile of slowness when they walk. If the enemy dies when this effect is active, it will burst in a few projectiles that also cost the debuff. Since this item adds an extra tier, it means that you will stay shooting it even if you have chargeable tiers. When you use it, it places itself in the room and gives somnolence to the enemies for a very short moment. But if you damage enemies, you will notice two things. An aura starts appearing and getting bigger on the book, and the active, now with only one charge, is charging slowly. First, the aura. Each time the book does this small blink, every enemy in the aura is gonna get somnolence. If you see the charge bar fully charged, that means that it reaches the max size, so you have a clear reference. Talking about the charge bar, this is what happens when you use it. Yep, the book shoots a bunch of explosive projectiles to the enemies. The amount of projectiles is based on how much the bar is charged, and the damage of the projectile is higher and scales with your own damage. When you use it, a book appears and slams the ground, applying somnolence and dealing damage around, and depending on which character you're using, you will get different familiars. If you're playing with Isaac, you will get to Tumor Head that spawn flies. If you're playing with Magdalene, it will spawn to Sandmann that have higher HP and shoot star projectiles, and if they die, they drop a half red heart. If you're playing with Eve, it will spawn to Sandy that shoot star projectiles as well. However, each Sandy Eve will also spawn a Sandy Crown that attacks close enemies. The crow dies once the Sandy Eve dies. All the other characters don't have a specific familiars yet, so they will spawn Sandy Guppies as well. Except Azazel. If you're playing with Azazel, the book turns into a Nightmare Grimoire. That is how it's pronounced, look it up. This item is another book that slumps the ground when you use it, causing fear to near enemies and spawning charmed nightmare versions of normal enemies, which look awesome. More plushies. This one is not a familiar, instead it's a passive item, and once you take it, now each time you go to a new floor, a keeper with the hardest haircut ever spawns on the first room. This keeper will sell stuff like items from random pools or trinkets, and these deals persist through the entire floor. Basically you can leave the room and it will still there. Also, yes, I know that this item is a reference to Ratchet, a Russian YouTuber that actually appeared on one of my streams once, so shout out to him. This item gives you a type of consumable when you use it, the Dreamer's Orb. This consumable gives you 3 to 4 Sandy familiars, basically these little guys, and you can also get 3 coins, 1 half soul heart, a random card or a random trinket. Also, this mod adds a new transformation. the Sleepyhead. Me. To get this transformation, you need to get 3 items related to sleep or beds, including items from the mod. What the transformation does is giving you a holy mantle and an extra soul heart when you sleep in a bed. And besides that, you have a small chance of shooting a tear that gives somnolence. And that was the whole showcase. The link of the mod is on the description. And for a while, this will be my last showcase. We all know that the online update is coming and some of the mods will be messed up for a while, so let's hope that it's not for too long. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, remember liking and subscribing. If you have any questions, opinions, or you think that I've forgotten something, leave it in the comments. And as always, goodbye and have a great day.